I know in the last video, when I was not on the circle, I was finishing too high and having, trying to save it in some way to make it look better in my mind's eye.
Right. There's too much play in it.
Exactly. Whereas if I stay on the circle, it automatically goes where you told me it should be going.
Right. Side tilt you get for you.
The third call for the Booster Party, third call, that's the Joy Party check-in.
Come out low.
Right.
Okay. The more that it comes out high, it means that everything is stopped.
I've shifted my plane and I've stopped.
Correct.
I've stopped turning my hips because I'm trying to come out this way.
Correct. Ball crossed the line, crossed the target.
Overhook.
Okay, so
overdraw.
Where was the face pointing when you did that?
Closed to the path.
Close to the path, right? So it was probably square.
Right.
Started on line.
Right.
And then dove. Okay. Lower. Okay, ball started just maybe a yard or two outside the line and curved over the line.
Right.
Okay. So once again, face was not as open as probably you'd like. Okay, ball flew once again twice as high. Ball curved better. Didn't cross the circle, right?
Across the line.
Or across the line. Let me ask you a question. How many times did we really think about where you were in the backswing in doing this?
Never.
Never, right? So, I mean, a lot of those things are pretty good, right? But what's happening is that you get these little subtle changes that can really confuse a lot of people when they look at their ball flight, right? So I think the most important thing is that you're not, trying to get this overly flat arch left wrist, okay, which might not be the first thing you want to look at. You want to look at more what the relationship is at the ground.
Right.
Number one, are you hitting the ball first? Number two, where's the face pointing? Number three, where is it curving?
Right.
Right. Brad, you have a lot of really good stuff in your swing.
Spring 2, off the wait list, please. Spring 2.
First and foremost, there's a lot of things that you already do in your swing through a lot of practice and a lot of work. The three major pieces that you're kind of working off when you look at like Mike and Andy's model would be the left arm's inside, okay, on the backswing, and it's inside about 20 degrees on the downswing. Okay. Your weight's forward. Okay, so your weight's not going to your back foot. Okay, that keeps it so you can hit the inside of the circle if you're on the circle. Okay, not shifted out. And then, last and not least, is that you're not hitting the ball by rolling your arms. Okay, So that's real important too. That's something we worked on for quite a long time. When you hit a golf ball, you're not trying to keep the handle in the same spot and roll the forearm forward, okay? So when you're on that circle, you're coming through it and you're keeping that angle the whole time, okay? Now that actually leads into one of your drills. One of your drills was, we tried to get your speed the fastest from here to here, okay? And a lot of people get really fast from the top of their swing, okay? Some people call it casting, some people call it something else, okay? I think a lot of it is people's weight goes back and they throw the foot at the ball. Okay, so what we really worked on hard is trying to get the sequencing of getting your arms down, okay, and then speeding up on that circle, okay? In doing that, the face was able to stay more square to open, okay? And you're able to speed up because you're not changing this aspect all the time, okay? When you start changing that aspect, things slow down, okay, which is not good. And what I mean by aspect is a shifted plane, okay? Even though plane might not be one of the first things I would look at, okay? It'd be more or less sequencing, okay? Plane would be maybe one of the last things I'd look at, okay? Now another thing was regarding your height, on how high you hit it, okay? How you hit the ball highest would be you'd have the most amount of forward push of the hips, okay, for you, which was, we had to increase, which is also going to incrementally open the hips up. So as the hips push more forward, the hips open up more, okay? This wouldn't be a thought of trying to be stable in the lower body, okay, which isn't very good, okay? You don't want to have that, but you want to have a pelvis going down the line feeling and trying to get your belt as far forward as possible, okay? As that happens, you're going to notice that your right shoulder is going to go lower and you're going to be more side tilted. So a good checkpoint for that, okay, as you go through that line, is that your belt is actually going to get higher on the finish when you do that, which is also going to be bringing the handle up higher off the ground on the finish. Okay, that was one of your big keys. Okay. Now the last one is where your head is. Okay, so some people have an issue trying to keep their head still. Okay. So the players that have the most problem with that stay in their forward tilt the longest, okay, which isn't something that you do. Okay, you kind of go the other way, which I'll talk about in a minute. So the guys that have the most problem getting the ball in the air, their head stays the most down the longest, and their forward tilt stays down the longest. Okay? When that happens, people tend to like to get over on their right side the most. Okay? To try to keep the head in the same spot. Okay? So that's why you'd see Michelle Wee or Nick Faldo, both their moves, their head stays down the most, their arms bend the most, their weight's back the most, they hit the ball the lowest. Okay? Or can hit the ball the lowest. So we're gonna, and you kind of go on the other side of the spectrum. Okay, so you don't keep your side tilt enough. Okay, your head comes up the most, the earliest. Okay, and a lot of it's because things shift. And so what happens is your head comes up, you do this, and you don't get the height. Okay, so you got to blend that with the hips going forward. Okay, so as the hips go forward and you come through it, you're here, and now you can keep your eye line on a circle as well, and keeping the head still. Okay, so anyway, I know that kind of summarizes what you're working on.